Good morning, dear students. Let's learn the next lesson from English second, that is break, break, break. Okay, when I talk about it, this is a particular poem belongs to a particular genre. Genre means a particular category of writing, and this belongs to a poem that is elegy. You know what is the elegy? The elegy will be a sad and thoughtful poem written in memory of someone who has died or something in the past. That means the person must have died. He will be the speaker's dearest friend or the poet's dearest friend or someone who is very close to him. Okay, and this elegy will be a poem which is crying over the death of someone, and the tone will be always a sorrowful tone which express the feelings of a person who has the feeling of missing someone who is very dear to him. And this particular poem, Break, 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 written by Alfred Lord Tennyson, is one of such poems which belongs to the genre of elegy. Elegy, I told you, it will be a poem which will be crying over the death of someone. And here we will see all the words suggest that the poet or the speaker of the poem is extremely sad because he has lost his dearest friend. Okay, let's come to the details about the author on page number 90. Alfred Lord Tennyson is one of the most popular and well-loved Victorian poets of England. His poems cover a wide range of themes and are known for their rich descriptive imagery and lyrical quality. Many of them were so popular and highly regarded that they became standards for 19th century English literature. The poem Break, Break, Break is an elegy, a sad and thoughtful poem written in memory of someone who has died or something in the past. It centers on Tennyson's grief over the death of his friend. Grief and the indifference of nature are the two main themes of the poem. The sea rises and falls in a tireless rhythm and does not acknowledge tragedy in the everyday life of people. Okay. He is one of the popular and well-loved Victorian poets of England. His poems cover a wide range of themes and known for rich descriptive imagery and lyrical quality that you will see when you go through the poem. This is very beautiful to read because of the description and quality. Many of them were so popular and highly regarded that they became standards for 19th century English literature. That means it helped the 19th century writers to move forward in the literary genres. The poem Break, Break, Break is an elegy, a sad and thoughtful poem written in memory of someone who has died or something in the past. I told you what is an elegy, and this poem reflects the sad tone of the poet about the death of his dear friend, and this is Arthur Henry Hallam, and he was his best friend, but somehow he died, and this poem reflects sorrowful memory of his friend. Okay. Grief and indifference of nature are two main themes of the poem. You know, even if someone is sad, the nature, whatever is existing in nature is permanent. It will be functioning, it will be going on without an ending. Means there is no ending for whatever we see in nature, especially the sea rises and falls according to the waves. And even though the same wave may not be returning, always there is a movement. If the waves will be going up and down, that is a continuous act. Even though the people will not be coming back after their death, the sea or the nature, whatever is happening in the nature, there is no end for all these actions. It will continue. It is permanent in nature. There are a lot of permanent or permanence in nature. Okay, that is the main themes of the poem. The sea rises and falls in the tireless rhythm and does not acknowledge tragedy in everyday life of people. That means we'll feel that it is not minding the people. It is going on doing, continuously doing the actions, whatever it does. So the poem, there is a paradox between what is happening in nature and what is in the mind of people. Okay, we'll come to the poem.
Break, break, break on thy cold grey stones, O sea, and I would that my tongue could utter the thoughts that arise in me. Oh well for the fisherman's boy, that he shouts for his sister at play. Oh well for the sailor lad, that he sings in his boat on the bay. And the stately ships go on to their haven under the hill. But oh, for the touch of a vanished hand, and the sound of a voice that is still. Break, break, break at the foot of thy crags, O sea, but the tender grace of a day that is dead will never come back to me.
You must have felt the lamenting tone of the speaker in this particular poem when you listened. Okay, let's explain it stanza by stanza. Break, break, break on thy cold grey stones of sea. You see, the speaker is standing, listening to the waves of the sea, and he sees that these waves, they are breaking or they are crashing against the grey stones of the cliff that is almost near the sea. And he is wondering, it's continuously doing its action. See the repetition of the word break, break, break. It shows that there is a continuation of this crashing of waves. Even though the poet or the speaker feels depressed and he feels that the person who has left him will be coming back, never will be coming back, he feels that this action is going on, and he's wondering what is the how you could feel to continuously do this action. And I would that my tongue could utter the thoughts that arise in me. Okay, and I would here it means I wish that my tongue could utter the thoughts that arise in me. The speaker cannot speak anything that the thoughts that comes in his mind. He's unable to speak because you know that if we want to speak something, we should have such a mood. The poet or the speaker feels extremely depressed mood, so he is unable to speak whatever comes in his mind. The thoughts that comes in his mind cannot be compared with the waves that is there in the sea. Oh well for the fisherman's boy that he shouts with his sister at play. He sees that everything that is in nature is just contradictory to his mood. That is, the fisherman's boy, without knowing anything, he shouts with his sister at play. Means he is continuing his action there. The boy and girl, they are playing. They can play, but they cannot understand the feeling of this speaker. They fail to understand the feeling of the speaker. They play there, they continuously play. Oh well for the sailor lad that he sings in his boat on the bay. You can see in the picture the sailor. Okay, and he is also continuously singing in his boat on the bay. Bay, you know, the meaning is given here. Otherwise, you know it, part of a sea surrounded by land on three sides, that is bay. And you see the sailor is also singing. You know that if you want to sing, you should be very happy, and he is happy. The sailor is happy, so he sings his song, and the stately ships go on to their haven under the hill. You see another sight that the speaker witness is the stately ships. Stately, you know, that is a grand, big or grand. The ships, they move on to their haven. Haven meaning is given there, safe and peaceful place. And here the life is compared to a ship. It goes to its destination. Everyone has to reach to its destination. This life, it is very stately, just like the ship. It's grand. It has something greatness, but it has to reach to its destination. It has, what is the destination of the ship? It is under the hill. It has to reach to a place what is a hill. But oh, for the touch of a vanished hand and the sound of a voice that is still. You see the contradiction. All these are moving. The fisherman's boy and girl, they are playing, they are moving. There is a movement. The sailor sings, being on his boat. Okay, and there is a movement. Even for the ships, there is movement. It's moving to its destination. But oh, the touch of a vanished hand. What does it mean, vanished hand? You know, touch of a vanished hand. That is a paradox. Paradox, you know, that is opposite in meaning. Actually, vanished hand cannot feel the touch, or we cannot feel the touch of a vanished hand. Vanished means disappeared. It disappeared forever. But he feels the touch of a vanished hand. It must be the person who died. Okay, and the sound of a voice that is still. You know that when someone dies or is very dear to you, you'll feel that everything that you miss. After some times, you will feel that everything that the person had or person influenced is missing for you. Okay, that means he could feel the touch of his friend when he was alive, or the voice he could hear. Now everything is the boy is playing, the sailor is singing, the ships are moving, but he is alone. That's what he feels. He is left alone. No one is there to give a company. Even the boy or girl or the sailor or the ships, nothing is giving him a kind of company. He is left alone. He feels a kind of loneliness. Okay, and you know that is very pathetic for the people when you feel that you are left alone. Okay, you see, there is a paradox in the touch of vanished hand, voice that is still. Means if something is still, there is no voice. Here, the poet uses the sound of a voice that is still. That means if the voice is still, there we cannot hear anything, but he feels the voice that is still. Once he heard this voice when this friend was alive, and he remembers that voice. That is why he feels that once it was alive and now it's still. Okay, and we'll come to the final stanza. Break, break, break at the foot of thy crags, O sea. You see, the poet is repeating the words break, break, break. Okay, that means he wanted to say that the sea is continuing its action. There is permanence in the action of the sea. It is breaking, breaking, and breaking. At the foot of thy crags meaning is given rough, steep masses of rock. That means it is the waves are crashing against the cliff. It continues. One waves, maybe the returning of the waves may not be impossible, but you see, even though one wave will not be returning, another wave takes birth. So there is a permanence of this action, and but the tender grace of a day that is dead will never come back to me. And he feels extremely sad of the death of his friend, and he feels that the day that is dead, the day when his friend was alive, it will never return to me again. So the poem as a whole shows or brings out the fact that death is unavoidable, inevitable. Everyone has to face it. Once it is faced by someone, they cannot come back. Okay, that means even if someone dies, whatever happens in the world, it will go on. That means there is permanence for what is happening in the world. Even if we die, even if someone who is dear to us die, life will go on. Okay, that's what the poem talks. The permanence of the nature or what is around us, at the same time the impermanence of each person. When we think about ourselves or myself, we cannot say that how long we will be on the earth. But you see, whatever is there on the earth, it has life. It will continue. There is a permanence of what is happening on the earth, on the nature, on the sea, as well as on the earth. Okay, that's what the poem talks about. Okay, some of the poetic devices employed by the poet is first line itself he uses repetition of words. It stresses something. You know that it stresses here in this poem. It stresses the fact that the continuous rise and fall of waves. That means the permanence of some actions that is given in the poem. Also, there are some other poetic devices like stately ships. There is a stately ships here. It is compared to life. Okay, so the comparison, metaphor is a comparison, indirect comparison without using the word as or like. Here the ships are compared to life itself. Okay, again I told you the touch of vanished hand and sound of voice that is still, that is used as paradox. In the last stanza, the third line of the last stanza, the tender grace of a day that is dead. It shows personification. The day is personified here, means it is given some personal qualities like the grace. Okay, that's all regarding the poem. Okay, please learn it, and I'll be sending the notes to you.